Hello and a very good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Crafters TV for this Friday. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh yeah, the weekend is almost here. Hope you've had a brilliant week and you've been enjoying all the fun here at Crafters TV. Lots to tell you about over the course of this show and the next. We've got a craft along coming up for you from 6 o'clock tonight, 1 o'clock Eastern. We are here though for our bi-weekly show, Softer Side of Life, where we concentrate on all things soft craft. Lots to tell you about on this show, and indeed lots to kind of throw your way. If you missed our cartload last night, we've managed to roll over some of those deals for you, which I will explain in just a little while. Plus, if you haven't yet had a look at your emails today, check your emails, because today we have a declining discount code. Oh yeah. What you have to do, what is one of them, Jamie? That is the question. I'm so glad you asked, and you're concentrating at the back of the class. What is one of them? One of those. It is a code that you'll find in your email box, which will give you a discount. The discount, well, you'll see what it is a hefty old discount, but you have to use it quite quickly, because at some point during the day, the discount will drop and then it will drop again. I don't know what it will drop to, and I don't know when it will drop, but I know the amount that you are going to get if you use it swiftly. Basically, the quicker you use it, the more money you will get off. And that is, of course, on top of the savings that you'll make on the deals that we've got, and on top of the amount you would normally save within Club Inspire. So it's definitely worth grabbing that, shopping for it, and particularly checking out the Shop the Day page, where we have loaded on some of the best deals from yesterday's cartload, which I'll recap on for you in just a few moments' time. But Softer Side of Life, it is not me on my own over the course of the next couple of hours, and it's not even Becky. No, is Becky still on her holidays? Well, she must be. She went away for about 5-6 weeks, something like that. I'm not the hashtag slacker anymore, am I? No. No, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the brilliant Mr. Adam Brooks. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. It's great to be back, Ben.
Congratulations on your win earlier on Wake Up Call with demo of the show.
Do you know what? I can't take full credit, because Becky is on holiday and we were chatting, and it was her great idea to do a beach towel. So it's a shared win. Well done, Becky.
What are we going to be doing in this show?
We've got loads. We've got build a block. We're going to be piecing together some wonderful fabrics using the build a block dies with the Gemini machine. Then, keeping on the holiday theme, I've got a fabulous travel wallet for us later on in the show, where you can put your passport and all your travel documents. Really, really nice. I've got a bottle holder as well, which is fabulous to put your drinks in and stuff. And then we've got some decorative panel dies as well, so a bit more with the Gemini machine.
All that is coming your way. If you want to ask any questions over the course of the show, of course you can do. You can get in touch with us on the socials, whether it be on Facebook or indeed on YouTube. Ask the questions, get in touch, say hello. Welcome Adam as well, if you've not seen him before. You're going to have a lot of fun with us over the course of the next couple of hours. Just before we get on to the deals and the build a block of the week, as Becky would say, we just need to very quickly show you some of these deals that we had from yesterday's cartload. So I've rolled them over because we had such a busy show last night, and I just wanted to make sure that if you didn't pick these up yesterday, that you get them today. And the great thing is, without sort of going on about it too much, you've got that declining discount code today as well. So you might decide to use that in conjunction with these. You might have already picked up one of these bags yesterday and thought to yourself, well, actually, such a great deal, and now I've got that code, I might buy another one. How this works, and this has been the most popular bag. All of these bags, by the way, are limited stock. We do not have a huge amount of stock left. The stock that we do have, you will find on our Shop the Day page right now. This is what you are going to be paying for within this bag. Okay, so we've got our top-notch artist quality watercolor pencils in the botanical collection, alongside a bottle of our ever popular, can never keep it in stock, glossy highlights. That there is worth your $24.78 or $29.52 if you're a platinum member. Then we ask you to give us one more penny or one more cent, and this is what you get for that penny. You're going to get a selection of our tri-colour pens. You're going to get this amazing Spectrum Noir Discovery Kit, the concept design. That's worth $7.99 on its own, by the way. You're then going to receive a set of our tri-blend pens in the portrait colours, 6 of those. You're also going to receive a set of our metallic markers. This is all for a penny. I know it doesn't seem real, but it is. You're going to get a set of our illustrator pens included in there too. All of our top-notch, top-quality Spectrum Noir goodies, acrylic paint pens, they're also in there. And lastly, for your penny, we're going to give you one of our quick dry ink pads in the Bordeaux. That's the deal from last night, that we do still have a little bit of stock left. Grab it today. 1p, all of that in that bag. Do not miss out. Use your discount code as well, should you wish to do it. And remember, the quicker that you use that discount code, the more of a discount you will receive. Also worth showing you before we get started, the festive bag that we had too, and a lot of you have enjoyed all of the festive deals that we've had recently. This again is phenomenal because we are giving you in this bag your ho 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 character tag die. That's included, and alongside it we're going to give you some of our patented technology double-sided creator card dies. That one is your festive ornament. So right there, $24.78 is your platinum price in the UK, $30.35. For one more penny, we give you this Under the Christmas Tree stamp set. We also give you a 3D embossing folder, those gorgeous poinsettias. We also give you one of our gorgeous creator cards, the Winter Stag, one of the most popular creator cards that we do. We also give you that gorgeous wreath stamp and die set. We also give you one of our gift card die sets, the really cool snowman. And then lastly in this collection from our expression set, we've got the 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. All of that, 1p. 1p! 1p, Jamie! 1p! I am 1p! 1p! 1p or not 1p? That is the question. 1p. That is what we're doing. So that's that bag. Then, if I'm following this, are we carrying on with the bags? Which one next? Next up is the Nature's Garden bag. And again, very quickly, because I realise I'm eating into Adam's time here, but I want you to make sure that you've seen these deals. This here worth $23.98 or $29.52 if you're platinum. So you get your wax seal and you get that luxurious cardstock from the Secret Garden collection. For another penny, we're going to give you that beautiful stamp set from the Garden Gnomes. You're also going to get this beautiful stamp set from the Farmhouse collection, along with the Let It Grow stamp and die set, where you can create that cute little seed packet. Then from the Secret Garden, you've got your Whimsical Lanterns stamp and die set. You've also got from the Secret Garden collection the Moment in Time stamp set, 5 stamps there. You're also going to receive from the Garden Gnomes collection, can you believe, the Girl Gnome stamp and dies. And then on top of all of that, you have got the Gateway to the Garden die from the Secret Garden collection. All of that, 1p. 1p. But that's not all, because we've got other goodie bags for you as well. This one here is your Purple Cheetah goodie bag. Now, the bag itself is just the absolute biz. I love the design, love the colour. I know so many of you snapped this up last night. But basically the value of the bag, $23.99, $27.96. Of course, this is going to store all of your craft supplies. You've got pockets on the front, zip-up pocket right there. And then inside, as we unfold this, you have got tons of storage space. As I said to you earlier on, Debbie Robinson's wash bag this is, so sorry Debbie, but you can see that lots of people are going to be using these for wash bags, going to be using them for makeup bags. You might think about using this if you go camping or for a first aid kit, whatever it might be. Obviously perfect for crafting. Tons and tons of compartments, all these see-through pockets that you can wipe clean should you need to, and of course you can see everything that's in there, and you've even got the little hook there too, so you can hang it on the back of your door. That is the value that you're seeing on screen, less 1p. Then for another penny, what we're going to give you, I mean, I can't believe we're doing this, 6x6 paper pad from the Enchanted Dreams collection. You're going to get stamps from the Masquerade Ball collection. You're going to get a stamp set from our Watercolour Christmas. This beautiful, the most wonderful new stamp set is also included. Stamps from our Chalkboard collection, stamps from the Garden Party collection, edgeables, iris folding dies, 3D embossing folders, and you're going to get the set of papers as well to do your iris folding with. All of that, 1p. Limited stock though on all of those bags that I have just shown you. You will find all of those on the Shop the Day page. And then the last one to show you, Adam's fallen asleep over there. The last one to show you is this deal here, which is the craziest deal of them all. Priced on the screen, okay, platinum price. Take a penny off that price there, right? So 51.16, 63.03. For that price, you're going to get one of our waterfall dies, which is this one here. It's the butterfly one. You get all the worker dies, all the decorative elements to create that really cool design. When you pull the tab, the butterflies fly. You've then got from the Enchanted Dreams collection the 5x5 abstract splash stencil. We're also going to give you one of our iris folding dies. That one is the hot air balloon. You get the template and the dies there. Then you're going to get one of our connecting sentiment dies, which is Thankful. And also in this collection, you've got the Loving Frame stamp and die set. That's worth 51.16 or 63.03 platinum. But what is the penny deal with this collection? A Gemini MIDI. I still can't believe. I thought I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I had a really funny dream last night where we were giving away Gemini MIDIs for a penny, and then I came into work and it was still here. Yeah, it wasn't a dream at all. We sold, I think, about 200 of these last night, and these are flying out of the door again today. Buy that collection, we'll give you the Gemini MIDI for one tiny little penny. That's all you need to give us. Unbelievable. The best manual die cutting machine as far as I'm concerned. If you're looking for your first die cutting machine, get this one and tell everybody. Do me a favour, when you get this deal home, go, you know my new MIDI, yeah, I bought that for a penny. Bought that for a penny. Brag about it lots. It is all on the Shop the Day page for you. Do not miss out. And of course, don't forget you have got your declining discount code as well. Use it sooner rather than later because it will drop at some point. I'm not sure when, but it will drop. Right. On to soft crafting. We are going to have a look at this Kaleidoscope wheel, your quilting die set here. And these are brilliant. Again, as you saw in our earlier show, with our soft crafting, I think we're all about trying to make it easier for not only our more experienced soft crafters, but for people who are wanting to get into soft craft as well. And these multimedia dies, Quilters Guild dies, in fact, are just brilliant. It's the Kaleidoscope wheel where you're going to get a selection of dies that are going to allow you to create a whole host of different things. But what we do with these sets is give you the inspiration to be able to create 3 different projects. So this one's going to allow you to create a beautiful Kaleidoscope wheel. You can create your Kaleidoscope clutch bag, and then you've also got the ability to create your own coasters with this as well. Includes all your instructions that you need in there too. Plus, as I say, all the multimedia dies in there to be able to create those projects. That is our Builder Block of the Week. It's down from £35, $40 to a platinum price of just £13.99 or $15.98, less your discount code as well, of course, if you've checked your emails. And these are just phenomenal again, aren't they? And really, we were talking about the dies that we do, just make it very, very accessible for everybody to have a go.
And you've hit the nail on the head, Ben. That's exactly what they do. And I particularly love these ones because it gives you, like you say, that inspiration for some projects. But you can take it even further still. That's your starting block. And then you can, take it and put it on whatever you like and just be inspired. We've got the projects that are on the front of the cover. We've got a bag as well, which shows you how you can take it a bit further. I'm going to concentrate on showing you how to put the pieces together in terms of the coaster. And then it's pretty much, the same method fits all. So we'll go through it. But with this builder block in particular, you'll see in the instructions, you've got those wonderful pictures of the samples that we've got today, but also like lovely detailed description and about the Quilters Guild as well, which is even a bit of history in there for us about quilting. And talking about cutting against the grain and to the grain and what that means. But it also gives you the number of shapes that you'll need and the contrasting colours that you'll need to make these projects, from the block to the clutch bag, and you've got the coasters as well. I'll start you off simply with the coasters and then can explain a bit more. But it says fabric A, B, C, D and E, so you choose what colours that you want. Like, you don't have to be bound to the ones that we've done on the picture. I mean, by all means go for that if you want, but again, with these lovely fabrics that we've got in today, I'm going to be showing us how vibrant they are with those, and showing you how to cut them on the Gemini as well. So yeah, lots of inspiration, lots that you can do with them. Add them to your existing builder blocks.
Yeah.
So, you know, keep all that going, and it's really simple to use, which is just fantastic.
Absolutely, and that is what we love, the simplicity of these. And of course, the great thing is as well, is not only do you get the full instructions there, but if you subscribe to us on YouTube, and indeed you can watch back on Facebook, so many of our softer side shows will be there for you, and you will see lots of our builder blocks being used. You'll see inspiration from the likes of Adam, of course, and Becky, and of course Bernie before Becky as well. There's all of those shows to go back and watch for hints, tips and inspiration. So don't be afraid, give it a go today. Builder blocks as well, worth every penny of that $34.99 or $39.95 on the screen. It's a half price deal today, better than half price if you're platinum. Take off your declining discount code as well, whatever that might be, and you're going to receive an even lower price on that one for you today. A few quick hellos before we get started. We've got Grace with us on the socials once again. Carletta is in. Rosalind says, that hour went by fast. Hello all. It did go by fast, didn't it? I didn't really feel like I got much of a little break in there, because I got nattering, then I got pulled in to do something in studio too, and you know,
it's the life of a famous TV presenter, Ben. You're in demand.
Beth says, good morning or happy Friday. Let us know your plans for this Friday. Let us know your weekend plans. I'm being super nosy, but I want to know what you're all up to. And as I say, if you've got questions about any of the products on the show, fire away. So you're going to make a coaster, is that right?
Yeah, I'm just going to start off with that. It's probably the simplest of the three projects, but sometimes we don't have to be overly complicated to get something really nice and effective. And sometimes if we go in and we're new to sewing and we start really complicated, we can be disappointed. It's always better to go in, I think, a little bit, you know, with an achievable project, and then work your way up from that. But all the skills that you will learn in this coaster, you will use in the bag and the clutch bag and the quilt as well. So it's fantastic.
Awesome.
For anybody that is new to using the builder blocks, the fantastic thing about them is they include your seam allowances. Now, when we're quilting or patchworking, we tend to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Well, those 1/4 inches are built in to these dies, and the great thing as well is that usually when you're putting shapes together, particularly like hexagonal shapes and a bit more obscure shapes, you tend to have to trim with your rotary cutter, or what we call, like, I think they call them the dog ears, or what.
Dog ears,
off. But with this, you don't really have to, because of this angle on the shape. That's already factored in. Can you see? It's not a pointed corner. It's actually taken that off already, which is superb. It's just gone that one step further. Not only can you get it cut out, but you've got all of that taken care of as well. So the Gemini machine is going to be what we're going to use to cut them. Oh, I've still got my remnants from this morning. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Adam.
Adam was here. Hashtag. Now, we say with the Gemini that it can cut up to 6 layers of cotton, but I know it can cut more than that.
Okay.
Which is fantastic. For this piece, I mean, it's up to you. We say in the instructions to use 4 different types of fabric, and it consists of 8 triangular panels. But if you just wanted to do alternate ones and use 2 fabrics and maybe then something, a pop of colour in the middle, it's up to you. Be as creative as you want. The fabric choice is yours. But I'm loving all of these. Look, these Hawaiian-y feel, hummingbirds, and they're really nice and bright.
Did you get a chance to make me that shirt in the break?
I started, and then I realised I hadn't taken your measurements. So I'll get my tape measure out, and then next time. But no, a lovely Hawaiian shirt in one of those, I think, would be fab.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
You know, that's the great thing about sewing, is that, you know, I primarily dressmake. That's what I do, but then I love when I get a chance to break out and do stuff like this, because it feels fun. Like, dressmaking sometimes can feel a little bit like, oh, you know, it's quite complicated at times, as I suppose quilting can be. So all I'm doing is, on that first plate on A, I'm just placing that print, that floral fabric, and I've folded it over double and double again, so I have 4 pieces that I can cut with this. It's just to demonstrate really how to cut it. And then you'll know with the die, there's like a ridge And on that ridge side is the side that's going to cut into the fabric, and you want to cut into the fabric and this A plate. So make sure that ridge is face down.
Okay.
Now, this is where, again, you can be clever, you know, because the die is quite hollow.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted, let's just give you an example as I'm thinking of it. If you wanted to get a particular hummingbird in, you can do that so easy. You can, what we call fussy cut with the machine. You can see that quite clearly. With an all-over print, it doesn't really matter. And then I'll cut this and I'll go on to explain how we piece together the coaster, and it would be very similar for sections of the bag as well, which I can explain.
Do you ever, you know, obviously you say you do your dressmaking. I know you're doing some stuff this year with a panto company. Do you ever make clothes for yourself? Do you ever make yourself?
Do you know what? Very rarely I make clothes for myself. It's quite strange. The thing I love doing most is making dresses. Oh, okay. I have more ones I've made in the past.
I bet you look marvellous.
But to be honest, there's something really invaluable about making something for a lady, and having that reaction of, you know, I feel $1 million. And I did that recently for a mother of the bride.
Okay.
And she cried when she had her first fitting, and it was, you know, the lining wasn't even in at that point. Yeah. So, yeah, it was quite interesting. I feel the benefit of that. I like that.
Like you say, Jamie just said he cried, you made him a shirt.
You would when you know what fabric I'd use.
Like you say though, it must be so lovely for you as the sort of designer, but then also for the person who's wearing it to be able to go along to a function, a wedding or whatever it might be, and for someone to go, oh, that dress is amazing, where did you get it from? It's like, oh no, well I had it, you know, made for me. I think a bespoke dress must be amazing.
Well, this is exactly it. You know the feeling you get when you give somebody a gift?
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody has this, but like, and they're really happy.
Yeah.
It's that feeling.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
So, and the fact that you've made it, it's like, yeah, I did that. So you can see really easily, look, cut really cleanly. And again, you'd never get that precision trying to do it with a rotary cutter. Like, you could get nice squares, and I've got a great tool I can show later on, but with more bespoke shapes, let's say, you know, it's perfect for it. And you've got all of those 4 dies in there. I've just cut that one to show you. I've got some pre-cut out as well. But you could cut them all and make the whole kaleidoscope. And even on the clutch bag, the bit that we're going to focus on is actually this bottom segment, really. That is the same, well, half of the coaster. So, you know, it builds you up really into the different projects. Yeah. Which is fantastic. So I've got these now cut out here. So here's my Blue Peter moments I prepared earlier.
Lovely.
In these gorgeous fabrics. Now, as I say, you could be really experimental in terms of like how many fabrics you use, how you place them. It's completely up to you. And I think what I've done here is I've got some florals and I've got some hummingbirds, and you can perhaps fussy cut it, so you know you're getting those hummingbirds in. The only thing with doing that, if you're folding the fabric over a few times, just be aware that if you're fussy cutting, you might just want to cut a singular piece at a time to make sure you're getting them all, which is why I've not got these perfect. I did them all in one go, and sometimes you just want to go, don't you?
Exactly.
Right, okay. And then you can just start to place them and see where you like them. You can go symmetrically or you can go scrappy. It's completely up to you. But they're going to go together like this, look.
That is a totally tropical coaster, that, isn't it?
It is totally tropical for your like totally tropical drink.
That's what I was thinking, like a tropically cocktail thing.
Oh, I could just have a drink now. It's put me in the mood.
We were saying that just before the show, weren't we? We go, oh, we could just go to the pub right now. I'm not very big on the cocktails though, so I don't know what cocktail I would have on my tropical coaster there. But are you a cocktail man?
I do occasionally like a mojito, or it's not really dead tropical though, is it?
What's mojito? That's like, is that mint, isn't it?
Yeah, it has a bit of mint in, and it's got something else in. Do you know what? I can't think. I don't know. What's in a mojito?
Rum, Charlotte's saying.
Rum.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
It's a bit of rum. I'm just going to show you this, take it off my machine, because last time I was on, I didn't have my 1/4" foot, and today I've got it.
Yes.
So you know what? This really, really helps. If you haven't got one of these, you can mark your 1/4" on the throat plate, which is the metal part of the machine, maybe with a bit of washi tape or something. But if you've got a 1/4" foot, it's fantastic. If I put it on there, you'll be able to see it's got a little prong on the end. It's a guide, really.
Yeah, like a little hand.
A little hand, a helping hand that sticks out. And basically, if you run your fabric along that, you get an accurate 1/4". So, and it's important to be accurate when quilting, so everything matches up. And we've already got the accuracy. I've taken the foot off, I'm not going to be able to get back on now, Ben. That'll teach me, won't it? There we go.
Hey. How many different feet do you get? Are there lots of different feet for
there are
so many.
Loads.
Yeah.
Standard tends to come with like a standard foot, and then you might get specifically for dressmaking like a rolled hem foot. You can get a binding foot to put bias binding on, a 1/4" foot. You can get an overcasting foot to finish edges off if you haven't got an overlocker. What else? I'm trying to think what other piece. You can get an embroidery foot, so you can embroider in free motion like we were talking this morning. And then there's cording feet, piping feet. There's loads, honestly. Jamie says it sounds painful. It's painful remembering them.
More feet than a centipede.
So what I'm going to do is right sides together, match them up. Now I've got my 1/4" foot on. Now, I don't tend to backstitch when it comes to piecing things together, because 9 times out of 10 those stitches are going to be caught in something else or another piece anyway. So this is where it can be quite nice, because you can actually piece a lot of pieces together by chaining them together. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just running that fabric, those 2 pieces, right sides together, down the side of that little helping hand, as you called it, which is fab. And I'm just going to come off here and keep going. And then what I'll be able to do is get my next 2 pieces and do the same.
Okay.
So I can just chain them all together, which is, you know, quite helpful, really.
Whilst you're doing that.
So you can basically just sew a lot in one go.
Yeah.
And actually, it's fantastic because you've managed to cut a lot of pieces on your Gemini machine anyway. I'm putting it into sport mode.
Here we go. Hashtag pedal to the metal.
That's it. But yeah, you can actually get quite a lot done this way.
Mary Pat joins us saying, good morning everyone. I will be doing my final preparations, this sounds interesting, for a virtual Halloween retreat today.
Ooh.
Whilst watching this class. What is a virtual Halloween retreat?
That sounds fun.
Does sound fun. I like scary things like that.
Do you know what? I'm excited for Halloween this year.
Are you a big Halloween scary person? I mean, you're not a scary person, but you like scary things.
You're a scary person. No. There's a certain Disney film that was out when I was growing up, related around Halloween, and they made a second one.
Is it, don't tell me, Hocus Pocus?
Yeah. And I can't wait for Bette Midler, Catherine the Jimmy, and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Are they all back in it, are they?
Yeah, they're all in it.
Amazing. We didn't watch that for ages. I think it might have been last year or the year before we watched it for the first time with the kids. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Was that the first time you'd watched it?
Yeah.
I love it, honestly. It's like my ultimate Halloween film. I've made some bunting, look at that.
Yeah.
It looks like bunting. But can you see, I've chained them together, and then all you need to do is just get some scissors, which is easier said than done, because I don't know where I've put mine.
There's some over there, if you can use our snips.
Now, this is a big thing. You should never use fabric scissors on paper. Can you use paper scissors on fabric?
Oh, but I think with ours, I think you can. You know, they're that good. Are those small snips all right for you?
They're absolutely
Perfect.
fine. I've got a big toolbox down here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It's not got anything manly in it, like manly tools. There might be a screwdriver, that's about it.
I've got lots of manly tools.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how to use them, but I've got them.
Now, it is important to press, and what we'd say as a rule of thumb is to press towards the darker side of the fabric, but with this particular design, we'll probably end up pressing them all the same way. So what I'm just going to do is press my seam allowances to one side.
Mary Pat, if you're still watching, let us know about that virtual Halloween retreat. Genuinely interested in that. Laura Jones says, I've got the Spectrum Noir, Totally Tiffany and stamp sets. Was that with the discount code? And Friday plans, we're asking for your plans, please. Rhonda says, my plans are to make 25 boxes for a breakfast at Tiffany's theme afternoon tea at a local mansion called Cheney House in Oak Park, Illinois. Well, that sounds splendid, doesn't it?
That sounds very splendid.
Rhonda says, my hubby has a massive collection of Hawaiian shirts, and the ones he doesn't want anymore are going to be made into a quilt with the Hawaiian dyes collection, which we have on the show. I love that idea. Yeah. Do you know what I've always wanted? And I keep thinking about getting it done, but it costs so much money. So you can get those chairs now where you can have like old shirts or whatever.
Yeah. Out of football shirts.
So rugby's my
thing.
You're
rugby.
Yeah, and to get all my old rugby shirts from my team made into a chair, but it costs like thousands and thousands of pounds to have it done.
Oh, we'll have to see what we can do for you, Ben.
Really?
Well, my friend did a similar thing. It was just as a cushion. But yeah, I've seen the chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd have the skills to maybe take one of those chairs and maybe sort of do it up a little bit, but not sit on it. Definitely better to sit on it, but not obviously have the skills to make something beautiful with the shirts.
I mean, that's getting into upholstery territory.
Yeah.
The difficult thing with doing something like that.
Can you do that?
What?
Upholstery.
I've dabbled.
Oh.
I'd be able to do it, probably.
I'll go back in a minute to my house, only 5 minutes away. I'll get my shirt. You can take them home with you.
That'll be the next project for until Christmas.
It's hard to do, is it, upholstery?
It can be, yeah, because you're having to mould the fabric around a cushion pad or sheet, and you're working with not just fabric, but whatever the chair's made of. But that particularly can be difficult because you might be using your shirts originally might not be just a stable cotton, it might be jersey, which is a knit fabric.
Yeah.
So you have to look at kind of stabilising it in some way to make it work. See, we're talking sewing, we're talking stabilising, fusible interfacing and things like that. Yeah. That's why, like, quilting, 100% quilting cotton is a dream to work with because it's stable.
Yeah.
And particularly as a beginner as well, you know, it's really lovely fabric, and this is just beautiful quality.
Gorgeous,
as well.
Isn't it?
So yes, right.
So today making a coaster, tomorrow upholstering. Who knows? It's got to start somewhere, isn't it?
I did do a chair once, and just recovered it. It was like one of those old Queen Anne type chairs.
Oh yeah.
Which is quite cool. And just recovered it in a wool fabric. I got my staple gun out and did all that. And I quite enjoyed doing it, but yeah, it can be quite difficult. It's definitely an art in itself.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing you see them do on the, I love that TV show, The Repair Shop.
Oh, I love that.
That's such a cool show when they're taking, you know, sort of family heirlooms or items that they were given to them that people have had over the years, and then you have all the different experts in, don't they, like making them look brand new. It's so amazing.
It is, and I think like it's just so brilliant in this day and age that, you know, things are cherished and that we should like repair things and make them good again, because
there's too much, I suppose, isn't there, of like, oh well, you know, things got like a tiny little break in it or whatever, I'll just go and buy a new one. There's used to be mend and make do, didn't it, back in the day?
That's it, Ben. Well, you know, no, I'm joking. Oh dear, I'll get myself in trouble. So I've got two halves of this. Is it an octagon? It's 8 pieces, so it should be. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there we go. So all I'm going to do now is sew them together.
Okay.
Down the half there. Now, you notice I wasn't using pins for that bit. The pieces are quite small, so they were quite stable because it's a nice quilting cotton to use. But because this is a longer seam and I want to try and get things matched up, I'm going to just use some clips, and these clips are fantastic, especially for like bulkier projects like bag making and things like that. They really are a treat. And you don't end up pinning yourself either.
Oh yes, I can imagine.
Which is always a bonus. And all I'm doing on that centre seam where they're meeting, I've just nested them so the seam allowances are going one way and the other. So we've spread that bulk a little bit, so we've not got it all bulking up on one side. And then it's just repeat really. We put it under here and we sew the 1/4 inch seam allowance. And as I say,
Maricel just saying Hocus Pocus is the best. It is a must-watch on Halloween for my family and right throughout October.
what's that?
Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah, oh it's an absolute must. Yeah, it's definitely my Halloween film for sure.
There's not many, there's not a lot of like Halloween family movies, are there really?
I mean, there's probably a lot of. I think there's probably been newer ones that have been released, but
I tell you what, I nearly watched. It was on Netflix, and I don't know if it was a family one. I nearly watched it last year. Was Adam Sandler's Hoobie Halloween?
oh, okay.
But then I saw the trailer of it, and it's like it was Adam Sandler just doing that stupid voice that he always that stupid voice that he always does in all of his movies. And I didn't get past the trailer, sadly. Was it any good, Jamie? Oh, Jamie said he watched it for 20 minutes and gave up.
Is Adam Sandler a bit of a acquired taste?
Well, he is. I really enjoyed him when he first started. Like some of his movies, like Happy Gilmore, and then you had Billy Madison, The Waterboy. But then it just seemed to be like all of his movies. He sort of played the same character, and he has all of his friends that are in all of his movies, aren't they? It's like Jobs for the Boys. But one of my favourite movies is an Adam Sandler movie. Is what's the one with Drew Barrymore? There's a wedding singer, 50 First Dates.
50 First Dates.
That's a great movie. Where he's been a bit more sensible in that movie. It's the movies where he's doing the silly voices. I saw Uncut Gems on Netflix. That was good actually. But yeah, I won't bother with Hoobie Halloween then. I'll stick with Hocus Pocus.
Stick with Hocus Pocus, kids. You'll be all right.
And what's number 2, whenever that's coming out? Halloween this year, you said, didn't you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because you know sometimes when they say that something's going to come out, and it's like, oh, but is it, or is it some like trailer that somebody's made up? But no, it's a real thing, and I'm super excited. And Halloween is the perfect time to craft.
Yes.
If ever there isn't a perfect time to craft. Halloween, Christmas, basically the holiday seasons.
Yeah.
They're just fantastic.
Absolutely.
Look at that, we've got a nice vibrant, looks like a pinwheel, kaleidoscope, and because I've used that 1/4 inch foot and pressed my seams nicely and just pinned it on that last stage, it's all meeting nicely now in points in the middle, and that's what you want to be aiming for really, is to get that nice shape. What will happen next is you would have cut a nice, I'm going to have to count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6 is a...
6 is a...
what is 6?
Pentagon, hexagon.
Hexagon, it is a hexagon.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm having to do that.
So I had to do it too.
You know when your mind just goes for a minute? Yeah, so you just want to place this on here, and at this stage I am going to get a pin, and I'm going to put these quilting pins, which are fabulous because they've got a flatter head on them, so it's easier when you're working on the machine. And placement with this pin, you can place it where you like really. I've kind of got 2 points on these green bits and then the others are falling in between, but it's up to you really. And then what I am going to do is just use a satin stitch, and we talked about this morning. It's just basically a very short zigzag is what we want to use on it. So yeah. I'm just going to get that zigzag right, and I can just test on a little bit of scrap fabric first.
Okay.
I will have to change my foot for this one. Okay. Because when the machine's doing a zigzag, the needle goes side to side, and on my quilting, my 1/4 inch foot there's just one hole for the needle in the middle, so if I left that on, I'd break the needle. And I don't want to do that live on it.
You don't want to do that. Whilst you're changing it, a few people saying hello. Deborah just saying good morning from Texas, everyone. It's Friday. Whoop, whoop.
Friday.
Friday. We're asking about your Friday plans, please. What are you up to for Friday? And we're also talking Halloween movies. How did we get onto that? Oh, yeah, because you said about Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Sylvia says The Witches. 1990.
Oh, Roald Dahl.
A UK film about a boy on holiday discovers a witches convention in the hotel. It is brilliant. It is a little bit scary.
I love it.
Yeah,
my brother was terrified of that. He's younger than me, and we used to wind him up saying the witches are under his bed. How evil's that?
Brothers, eh? But no, it is, because I think it's only a PG, but then when they get into the function room and they all take their wigs off and stuff.
Oh, that is scary. Yeah.
And doesn't the boy get... Oh, no, I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. But he gets turned into a... And then he has to...
They've remade that, yeah.
The new version apparently is terrible. I read the reviews on that and they said it was not a patch on the original. I don't understand sometimes why they make a really good movie in the first place and then they feel like they need to reboot it, because you're on a hide into nothing, aren't you, really? If the first movie was so good, why would you then try and remake it? Oh yeah, that's right, money. Rhonda Crowley says 50 First Dates is one of my very favourite movies. It is a really, really fun movie, actually, that one. Very good, very good.
It's got a lot of sentiment, 50 First Dates has. It's good.
It's got it all, hasn't it? A bit of fun, bit of sentiment. I like it. Keep the comments coming through. Let us know what you're up to. If you want to chat movies at me as well, always happy to do that. And don't forget as well, if you have just joined us, have you checked your emails today? If you haven't, make sure you do. We've got a declining discount code. First time I've ever heard of one of those, but basically a discount code, you'll see what it is, but it's going to go down at points during the day. So basically the earlier you use it, the more of a discount you're going to get. So do check your emails and use it. Hi to Liz McLean, who says, I'm just back from an aqua aerobics class. Beautiful day here in Aberdeen. And Stephen Lee Guy says, I'm going to binge watch Heartstopper and have a pizza.
Oh, I love Heartstopper.
What is that?
It's, I think it was originally a set of cartoony type books, but it's aimed at younger children.
Right.
And it's about sexuality, really, growing up.
Oh, okay.
In teenagers. And again, it's one of those series that's really heartfelt and really, really beautifully directed and well done.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it if you haven't seen it. I'm sure that's on Netflix.
That is on Netflix, yeah. Teens Charlie and Nick discover their unlikely friendship might be something more as they navigate school and young love. That's what it says.
That's it.
8.7 out of 10 on IMDb, so it's worth a watch. Oh, good for you. Sounds like an afternoon binge watching bit of TV and having pizza. You don't go too far wrong. Joe and Maria just asking, are you using a zigzag stitch?
Yes, so that's literally all it is. It's a zigzag stitch, but you could use any decorative stitch around that section if you wanted to. I've done it in a white so you can kind of see it, but you could match in with that pink or whatever colour you're using, or even use an embroidery thread. That would really lift it and give a sheen on it. But yeah, all I've done with that zigzag stitch on the machine is shorten it right down, so it's really close together, the stitches, so it gives that effect. And it would look even better, as I say, in a complementary colour, but for TV, so you can see it. Yeah, that's all it is. That's simple. But yeah, there's lots of different stitches that you can use sometimes that are a little bit more decorative. Like you might be able to see actually on this bag. That's a good example. If your machine has maybe something like this stitch, I don't know if it'll pick it up on the camera there. You can see it on the darker there, look. It almost looks like a blanket stitch, but it goes across both sides.
Oh, yeah.
You could use something like that. In fact, I think I used it on the one I made earlier, something similar. Again, you might struggle to see it, or you can. And again, it just depends what your machine has. I'm saying a zigzag stitch because most machines will have that. You could just do a straight running stitch around it, a lock stitch, if you wanted to. And you can make it as complicated or as easy as you like.
That's it.
Right, all you would do from this part, and my wadding is a little bit thick, I will admit, is then cut some wadding. So you now use this as a template. So there you would have your wadding, and then you'd also cut your backing layer as well. So I think I'm going to go for some of this, Ben. It's really nice.
Why not? Yeah.
This was your Hawaiian shirt, by the way.
Oh, look what you've done to it. You made a right old mess of me shirt.
I butchered it.
Seriously, I give you one job, Adam.
I know. Now, the best way to probably do this is lay this out. I might even just put a pin on that just to stabilise it or keep it in place so it's not moving about, so I can cut it a nice shape just through the middle, because I'm just wanting basically to trace this outline. That's sticking up a little bit there. Let me go for it there. That's better. It's because there's some bulk in the middle there. Now what you could do is you could use your threader's heat erasable pen and draw around it, or if you're feeling confident you can go straight in with your rule and your rotary cutter.
How are you feeling?
Let's go for it.
Confident.
Let's live life on the edge.
That's it. Hashtag life on the edge.
So there we go. I'm just going to cut there. And that's the great thing. These rulers, if you're going to get into quilting and patchwork, are literally like, these are the basics. You definitely need these, I would say. Because you've got all your 1/4 inch markings on there and everything. It makes it so easy for when you're needing to cut. And then I've got this fab guillotine fabric cutter as well, which if I get time I'll show us how that could work to potentially cut some bias to finish this off, which makes it even easier still, Ben. Can you believe?
I can believe it when you're in the house.
Well, it's not me, it's the genius of...
Well, it's partly you as well, you know, showing us how easy it is. Because I bet I wouldn't make it look as easy.
No, honestly. Have you ever done any sewing, or do you?
So I do a bit of paper crafting now. Ever since I joined here, I've got more paper craft stuff at home. Most of it I acquired from Craig on sort of like a long loan and never gave it back. But with the soft craft, I have got a sewing machine, and I can do sort of, I've done like running repairs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And back along, probably a couple of years ago now, I was doing a bit with my daughter when Bernie was here, and we made like a little mobile phone case.
Yeah.
But it just got to the point, and it was probably me, because I again, like quite new to it all, my machine kept like snagging and stuff. And it got to the point where I was just like, getting a bit fed up of my machine snagging. And so just one weekend I put it away, and then I never got it out again, which is a bit silly really, because when we were having a play, we were having fun with it.
Yeah, it's just getting to know the machine, and sometimes like you might get a thread jam, or you might need to change the needle in it.
Yeah,
but the more you use it, it's like anything.
That's it.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, exactly right.
So what I'm going to do just quickly, there's some alternative ways I've thought of to finish this. You could, now we've cut those pieces, and you'd have your wadding as well. As I said, mine's a little bit on the thicker side. I'd probably want to chop that down a little bit, but you'd want to kind of sew them so the wadding was in the right place. First of all, that's the right side there, I can see that, and then I'd put right sides together, and then I'd sew all the way around this octagon.
Yeah.
And then what I would do is leave one of the sides open, turn it through, and then you could top stitch around.
Okay.
But then I thought, what a wonderful idea if you wanted to go that one step further, and I'm all about like challenging people, is you could make some bias binding.
Okay.
Which is dead simple to make. You can buy it shop bought, but you could bind it, which would give a really lovely finish on the outside as well. So just as an alternative, and those of you that are familiar with quilting will use loads of bias binding for quilts and things like that. But then I was thinking, well, how great if you can quickly make your own. Now, a lot of the time it's like measuring out the strips and cutting it and whatnot, which can be painstaking. But with the fabric cutter, which is almost like a guillotine really for fabric, it makes it so easy. You've got on this ruler like
first time I've seen this actually.
Is it?
I've definitely not seen this before. No.
It's very much like an ordinary ruler in terms of that Crafter's Companion do. And the great thing is that all the 1/4 inch markings are made out, and you've got all your markings on there. You can actually cut quite a wide piece of fabric from 15 inches to 15.5, which is quite big. And then you've got this slider on the side here. which is basically the rotary blade underneath.
Okay.
And for those that maybe struggle with a rotary cutter, this may be your answer because it makes it really easy. It's effortless, which I'll show you in a minute. And one of the great things that you can do on this is cut strips for bias binding.
Okay.
So what do we mean by on the bias? Well, we basically mean at a 45-degree angle to the grain of the fabric. Now, you'll know there's so many technical terms in sewing, isn't there? I feel like it's important to explain.
No, absolutely, because we've got new people watching it all the time, so it's good to explain it.
Basically, the grain of the fabric is, you've got warp and weft. You've got grains going this way and grains going this way. And to know which way the grain of the fabric is going, you have what's called a selve edge on the side of the fabric. And I don't know if I've got it on any of this to show you. Let me see if I can pull one that's got a selve edge on it. Yes, here you go. And you can see it nicely on here. You see that white strip, and sometimes it's got like the colour in it as well.
Yeah.
The grain will run parallel to that selve edge. That is the selve edge, and that's the grain, the way parallel to that. What we want to do is cut on the bias, so we want to cut it at 45 degrees. We cut it on the bias because if you cut on that 45-degree angle, you get a slight stretch in the fabric. So when you're using it to go around curves and corners and edges, you're going to be able to fit the fabric better to the shape that you're sewing it to. So, with all that history of bias binding,
I enjoyed it.
What I've done here already is I've cut already a strip on that 45-degree angle, and the way I did that was by putting it underneath here, and then on this ruler there's a 45-degree line. So what I did was I lined up, I can't remember now, it would have been that way, wouldn't it? I would have lined up the selve edge with the 45-degree line on there, and then I would cut across. So I'd already got then the 45 degrees. So all I've got to do now is use that as my straight line and cut across. Now, I've got the 45-degree line, so what I'm going to do now is just fold this along that line in half, because then I can cut some strips, and you can cut, again, very much like the Gemini, so many different layers. And then all I need to do is line up my fabric. I need it this side. Let's put it down there.
That mat comes in the deal as well, doesn't it? The mat that you're on, I think.
So I'm just lining up that edge, that cut edge now, with my 2-inch line, because I'm going to make 2-inch bias strips, which should be about 1 inch wide once folded. But you could choose whatever width you want. And then this is how simple it is, right? I don't even have to put much pressure on it. I just go up and you can come back as well. And, oh, I didn't catch that first bit. Or the last bit. He said it's simple. There you go. We'll get there in the end. It's because I've done a double layer and I'd only been practicing with one. But, you know, and there you are. You've got your bias strip. And you could make multiples of those, and you know, you could cut lots and lots of them, like just to show you how easy it is. So let me go under again.
Okay.
Under the knife. What you've just got to watch with, where I made the mistake there, is that you get the beginning and end. So again, you just line up. Oh, I need my fabric the other way. And once you get used to using this, and if you're, you know, not confident with a rotary cutter, this might be the answer for you. And I'll certainly be using this to make all my bias binding. There we go. So you've just got to make sure, that you've got the pressure on it. You don't need loads of pressure, but just at the beginning and end. There you go.
Perfect.
Second time better. All right, but it's so easy to use, and I think a great tool. So there you are. That's the fabric cutter. And if you wanted to make some bias binding for your coaster, fab.
Amazing.
Cool stuff. Are we carrying on with the coaster, or are we moving on, or what? What do?
I think we are going to come back to me, I think. So the coaster, we're pretty much done. Yeah.
Yeah, you just sew it together and top stitch it or bias bind it. And yeah, perfect.
Amazing. Just a few comments coming through. Who's doing what? Laura says, I'm working on 150 wedding favours. Amazing. We're asking what you're up to on your Friday. What are the plans? Panda Crafts, talking about sewing machines, as I said about my sewing machine. She said that was the same as me, Ben. Mine went under the bed for about 10 years. Then I gave it to my mum a few years ago, which is probably under her bed or in a cupboard. I think the good thing is, though, is that if you are maybe a paper crafter who's sort of having a nose at this show, thinking, oh, I might get back into soft craft, there's plenty of items now that actually will hopefully coax you back into the world of soft craft. Things like the builder blocks, things like those multimedia dies that we've got as well. So hopefully you're looking at things like this collection here that Adam's just been showing you to make those little things like the coasters. Then you can move on to other projects within this collection, things like the bag. You've got the apron in there too, and of course, the majority of you will have your Gemini machines, so that you'll be able to do these little projects, so that it will encourage you to get your sewing machine out and start using that again, and then hopefully you'll have your soft crafting alongside your paper crafting as well. This one is our builder block of the week, as Becky would say. Builder block of the week.
I love that.
Builder block. Normally £34.99 or £40. Half price, less your club inspired discount. So this here is the price if you're a platinum member. And of course, don't forget to check your emails. You'll find your discount code in there as well. It's a declining discount code today for everybody. The quicker you use it, the more discount you will get. That's all I can tell you. You'll have to check the emails for more details on that. We are going to take a short little break right now, give you time to check out your baskets. Don't forget to hit the Shop the Day page on there. You'll find all of the softer side goodies. You'll find some of our favourite deals from last night's cartload as well. Penny deals on there, a deal where you can pick up the MIDI for 1p. Check that page out, use your declining discount code, and we'll come back with more softer side in just a moment.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges, and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95, and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members, who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Achieve crisp, precise, and perfect die cutting results every time with the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim. The idea behind the plastic shim is that it creates a thicker plate combination, offering an even more precise die cutting result with each pass. Simply pop a plastic shim between your cutting plates and then roll through your Gemini die cutting machine, and voila! An amazing precise cut every time. Plastic shims work really well with detailed or thin metal dies. So if intricate cutting is your thing, then the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim is your best friend.
Quick Buy, get yours now. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Put away your tape measure and fabric scissors. The Threader's Fabric Cutter offers accuracy and precision with every cut. This handy tool slices through fabric in a guillotine style. Its ergonomic design features a comfortable and protective handle, so it's safe and easy to use whether you're right or left-handed. Its 45mm rotary blade will cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time, so your sewing, quilting, and upholstery project times are cut down to size. It's equipped with a measuring guide in metric and imperial for a perfectly accurate cut every time. The built-in grid ruler has 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree angle lines, so you can cut fabric on any angle, including the bias. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Welcome back, everybody. Why did I say it like that? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Softer Side. Rhonda says, I think the only builder block that I don't have are the add-ons to the original builder blocks. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got so much for you on the show. Just under an hour to go. Where's that hour gone of our Softer Side? Just to quickly recap on a few really popular items today. So what we've done is we've bundled into the Shop the Day page loads of the great deals from last night. Like, for example, this deal, my favourite deal. I still can't believe that we're doing this, but basically this is a bundle here that you're picking up for £51.16 if you're platinum, or $63.03. You're going to get in this deal the waterfall die with the butterflies on. So you get the worker die there to allow you to be able to create a perfect waterfall effect. You get all those beautiful shaped butterflies in there, included full instructions to pop that together. So you pull the little tab and those butterflies stream down. On top of that, you're going to get the gorgeous stencil, the Abstract Splash. That one's called, from the Enchanted Dreams. 5x5 stencil is included. Also for the price tag, you're going to get that gorgeous Love Hearts frame set, Stampin' Dies within that set. And you're going to get the beautiful Connecting Sentiments die. That one is called Thankful. It comes with some stamps as well, but really, really clever that it cuts that detail into the cardstock. You would think that you'd need to back that with some acetate. Actually, the way that that's been designed, the structural integrity of the card hasn't been sort of fussed with, so you can simply run it through, create something as beautiful as that very, very quickly. And then on top of that, you're going to get one of these sets of our iris folding dies. That one is called, I call it Up and Away. Is it actually called that? Oh, it is, yeah. Wow, good guess. Up and Away, which is that hot air balloon. You get the templates and the dies in there for that price. And you're thinking, well, why is he saying 51.16, 63.03 when it says 51.17, 63.04? Because you're going to have to give us another penny to get that. Let's just all appreciate that for a second, that buys you that in this deal. Bonkers, really. It is the most brilliant Gemini MIDI. It's the machine that I have at home, the one that I craft with when I'm doing some crafting with Daisy. It is just phenomenal. It is simplicity without the electricity, as one wise man once said. That was me that said that. Not that wise. But it's a brilliant machine. It's going to take your 6x9 folders in there. And the brilliant thing about this, and we must stress this, if you're thinking, well, it's a manual machine, I'm not going to get the kind of cut and precision that I would with an electronic, you will. Don't know how they've done it, but that's what our team have done with the MIDI. Same with the Mini as well, which we've got later on Craft Along. The precision you'll want for your die cutting, the precision you'll want for your embossing in a manual machine. You can go forwards, you can go backwards, whether you're left-handed, right-handed, this is a great machine. It's portable. What I would say with it weight-wise, it's substantial is the way I would describe it, because if it was too heavy, it wouldn't be portable. Yet if it was too light, it wouldn't really do the job. It's a substantial weight, but it's definitely portable. You've got the suckers on the bottom there as well for you to be able to pop it in place wherever you're crafting. And it is the simplicity of use with this for me. That's why I get it, because I'm simple, as you know. Don't want anything too complicated. Want to be able to die cut and emboss nice and easy. I pop my dies in there, in that folder. Right, it's as simple as that. Run it through, do your die cutting. If you've got embossing folders, if you've got a 3D embossing folder, goes straight through on its own. If you've got a 2D embossing folder, pop it through with the purple shim. Boom, you're done. It could not be simpler. Literally the best, in my opinion, manual die cutting machine there is, and you are picking it up for a solitary single penny. That's it. It's within that deal just there. Literally hundreds of these have now sold. It is on the Shop the Day page. Do not miss out on that deal. And also one of the other deals that we've got, the goodie bags, we have still all of them. They are limited stock across the board, but we'll show you the most popular one. This is the one you need to get your skates on for just a little bit if it is of interest. So you're going to pick up the Aqua Blend pencils. These are our premium quality, artist quality watercolour pencils, 24 there. In the botanical set, this is the range of colours that you're going to get within that tin. And you're going to get a bottle of our glossy highlights as well. This, I mean, flies out the door every day of the week. So the fact that you're getting that within that bundle is amazing. We'll pop the details up for you. Here they come. Whoop, on your screen. So it's $24.78 is the price for those two, or $29.52. For another penny, we are going to give you, and this is why this is so popular, you're going to get one of our discovery kits. That's the concept design. That's worth $7.99 on its own. I know that much. You're going to get a set of our acrylic paint pens. Those are also included, the dual. You're going to get a set of our Spectrum Noir tri-blends in the portrait colours. That is an absolute steal for a penny, right? There can't be more. There is, because we're also going to give you your vintage illustrators. Our dual-tipped artist quality pens are included. You're also going to get, if you love your watercolouring, your tricolour pens. 3 of those are included. There can't be more. There is, because we're also going to throw in one of our quick dry ink pads in the Bordeaux. There can't be more. There is, because you're also going to get a set, listen to me talking to yourself, metallic paint markers, the copper pens you're going to get in there. That, all of that is a penny. I mean, seriously, that is absolutely crazy, wacky bonkers. We've all gone mad. Do not miss out on these deals. And the thing to stress again today, of course, is that deal is the same deal that you had yesterday on Cartload. We've rolled it over for today, specifically asked if we could do that. The deals are on the Shop the Day page, but today you've got your discount code included as well. So do make sure you use that declining discount code in your email box now. You are welcome. Other quick thing to show you, which has proved really popular, are these Hawaiian dies. Again, these are multimedia dies, so if you decide, you know what, you want to use these within your paper craft, you've got the ability to be able to do that too. Lovely deal on these today, actually. Dies that we have seen before on these softer side shows, but certainly today, you're loving them. Best ever price we've done them for, £120, $140. £18.80 today, or $22 for the full set. It's an 80% saving, less another 20% if you're platinum. All the details on the back for you as to how from the one die you can achieve this kind of effect. Really, really cute. You've got the tea leaf in there. This one here is your, put your glasses, where's my glasses? Glasses. Old man alert, put your glasses on, old man. You're also going to get the pineapple. And again, you can see one die tells you exactly what you need to do to be able to create that really cool effect. You're also going to receive in there your hibiscus, work quite nicely with some of the fabrics that we've got coming up for you very shortly indeed, brand new fabrics on the show. And then you've also got the beautiful breadfruit. All 4 of those for that price of $18.80 or $22. That is the best ever price we've done them for. 80% saving, which is bonkers. And going on from that to our fabrics of the week.
I love how everything has a song here.
That was Becky Swan. A lot of people think I'm a song and dance man, but that's Becky. The fabrics are gorgeous, and as I said, if you enjoyed the hibiscus dye that we've got there, you will love these, because we've got lots of hibiscuses, many hibiscuses, many hibiscuses in this gorgeous fabric. The hibiscus on cream, first of all, $5.59, $8.39 per half metre. And just as we look through these, Adam, you were saying that these fabrics are much sought after, much loved. This kind of fabric.
They're a very popular range, and I think because of the gorgeous prints, the gorgeous quality, how lovely they are to sew and work with.
Yeah.
They're so vibrant, they're just beautiful. How can you not have that in your stash?
I know, exactly. And I love the fact that I learned today that, you guys who love your soft craft are as much the same as our paper crafters who buy all of this lovely fabric, not necessarily just to use it, just to have it there in your sewing room, just to stroke and
adore it.
And wrap it around yourself. I don't know.
How did you know?
That's hibiscus on dark pink. They are gorgeous colours, and I tell you what, the kind of things I think now, if you're looking to make some gorgeous projects for summertime, you've got all of the vibrancy and colours within these beautiful fabrics. That's the hibiscus on blue. As I mentioned earlier on, I do say this every time we have a soft craft show, Softer Side of Life. Do get in nice and quickly with these, because we don't tend to get a massive amount of fabric when we have it on the shows, and I know lots of people tend to snap it up early. I remember when Bernie used to be here, she used to send out like a little message to all of her fans on Facebook when there was new fabric, and I used to tell them not to do it, because every week we'd get to the show and we didn't have any fabric left. Really? Yeah, because she used to tell all of her friends, they'd come in and buy it all, then we get to the show and then there's none left. So it's nice to actually have some fabric on the
I'll tell you what, it won't be for long, because this stuff's gorgeous.
It is, isn't it? I think every time I sort of flick through this, I find a new favourite. I love that on the tropical green. Really zesty and fruity and vibrant with the gorgeous hummingbirds on. And then the last fabric that we've got for you is the beautiful hummingbirds on the tropical blue. All of these available for you by the half metre. And again, it's $5.59 platinum price per half metre, $8.39 if you're a platinum member. The time is flying away. We've got just over 45 minutes to go, and I know we're going to get another project in. You also get to vote on your demo of the show a little bit later on. Adam will have two, very excitingly, in the vote a little bit later on, maybe winning the demo of the day and all that entails.
What does that entail? I have to come back.
Yes, it means you get invited back for another show.
Yay.
And here's the thing. Sorry, that's very. You haven't got your name on the board over there, have you? On that, is your name there? It's not on there, is it?
Oh no.
So here's the thing. I tell you what it entails.
I'll applique it to the bottom.
Yes. Applique it to the bottom. And what it entails is you win today. You then go forward to the demo of the week contest on Sunday.
Right.
You win on Sunday, and you get a star on the board.
Oh.
Yeah. And whoever has the most stars at the end of the year wins a holiday to Barbados.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
you need to get a few more weeks in, won't you? I think.
I need to find a die for a star then to add. Cheat my way through.
We're going to have a look at the trendy. He's looking at the board now. We're going to have a look at the trendy tote purses and wallets pattern packs. Now, I have got the pack here, which is for your trendy tote. Adam has got other side of the studio, the one for the purses and the wallets, but it comes together as a twosome. 30% savings, so normally $19.98, $25 and change, £10.40, $15.20. So what you're getting here is your printed pattern sheet, and you've got your step-by-step instructions in there as well. You've also got your zip placement tool in there too, and then it gives you all the detail on the back of here, everything else you'll need as far as fabric is concerned to be able to create that gorgeous bag. That's not all that you're getting within that deal, because you've also got the pattern pack, which shows you how to make the purses and wallets, which is what you're going to look at now, Adam, isn't it?
That's absolutely it. Yeah, and it's a fantastic pack, and to have both of them, you've got the bag and all the accessories as well, and I know that people get really excited about that. I know I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, within this one, you've got the wallet, you've got the coin purse in the middle, you've got a little pouch, you've got like a more wallet zip styled wallet, and then a travel wallet as well. And it's a travel wallet I'm going to do today.
Okay.
It's really, really cool and perfect in these fabrics. I've made a sample up in the hummingbirds and what we've been looking at today. And actually quite simple to make once you get your head around it. You've got all these compartments here where you can put your passport in and all your travel documents. You've also got room in here, which is really, really nice. And this cute little pen holder as well, which is holding my threader's pen.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because we'll be using that in a minute. And we've used some contrasting fabric as well on the inside to complement the outside, and it's all closed with some hook and loop tape. There is a commercial name for that, and I won't say it, but it's basically...
I'm glad that you do say the hook and loop.
Yes.
Because so many people say the
other one. Yes. It's like he who should not be named and begins with the same letter.
Yes, it does.
So what's great about this pattern is you've got full instructions, and this will be for the both of them. how to make all of the pieces in there. It tells you exactly what you need for the clutch bag, the coin purse, and today the travel wallet. We're using a bit of interfacing as well, some hook and loop tape, and some lovely pictures as well in the instructions that help you along. So if you are getting a little bit confused, I know I'm a visual person when following patterns. So you can see exactly what you need to do, and it's all detailed out nicely. It's a 1/4 inch seam allowance throughout unless otherwise stated. Like you were saying about the zip placement tool in that pack you get, in this one you get the card slot positioning tool, which works on the same theory, the same principle, but just helps you mark where you need to place fabric. And again, it's just one of those genius ideas that takes all the thinking out of it for you, which is amazing. So you've got that, and then to top it all, it is a paper pattern, like your traditional paper pattern. And excuse me, because I have cut my pattern out of this. You could choose to trace it off if you wanted to, but it's on great, really nice quality copier paper. Like some sewing patterns come on tissue paper, which used to be okay back in the day, but I think people now favour this because it lasts a bit longer. You could trace your patterns off or whatever, and you've got everything you need there. And a lot of it is rectangles. In fact, this whole project is rectangles and squares, which you could cut on your fabric cutter if you've bought one of those today. You could quite easily just measure the size of it and do it that way, and use your rotary cutter with the pattern pieces. However you want to do it, really. So let's get on and do it. So what I've got here is actually 10 pieces. I've got 8 lining fabric pieces cut into rectangles, and then 2 of the contrast. So they're going to be my pockets, and we're going to start on those first. So I'm going to take one of the contrast pockets, and I'm going to take this card positioning tool here. And I'm going to grab my pen. These are heat erasable, but just always check on your fabric beforehand.
I love how you keep that inside your jacket pocket.
Joe said the same thing. Do you know what? It's just I know it's there then. When I'm on air, I just I can get it.
So good.
I don't genuinely do it.
Oh, you don't have it in there, the rest of the time.
It's just I've got so much going on behind here. It's like, oh, that's all right.
Guys, heat erasable pen in his jacket pocket, sewing machine in the car.
That is true. Sewing machine in the car. So I'm going to line up line number 9 with the bottom of this panel. Now this print actually, I think throughout it all is bi-directional. It doesn't matter which way, so there's hummingbirds going up and down and everywhere anyway. But if you did have a print, you'd have to watch that. But what I'm going to do is put a mark on line 8, a mark on line 6, and a mark on line 4. It's just a small line there because that's where we're going to be lining up. So I've lined the bottom up with number 9, and then I've marked 8, 6 and 4. And we can see them on there. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the panel pieces, the pocket pieces, and we're going to line that up with the top line. So that would be line 4 that we've just sewn there. And we're going to sew that at 1/4 inch. Okay, so under the machine it goes. Now, before when I was piecing, I didn't backstitch. Here we will backstitch because we're creating something that potentially isn't going to be locked in. So I'm just going to reverse stitch there, and then continue with my 1/4 inch seam allowance down there. And then we're going to backstitch at the end as well. Cool, and then we take that off. All right, okay, so that's going to form that very first top pocket piece. We're going to take the second one now, and we're going to now pull that down to the second line. That was row number 6, line number 6 you might, and just make sure that's lying nice and flat together. And then we're going to take the second pocket piece and line that up on that same line there. So we're now going through 3 pieces of fabric. Can you see I've folded that one down to line 6, and then I'm placing that on top directly, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch down that bit as well.
Okay.
And what this is going to do now is lock that in, the first one we did, and also attach the second one. Again, reverse stitch at the beginning.
Morning to Samantha, who's just joined us, Samantha Cheney. Hi to Mary Reno as well. If you have just joined us, you're just waking up, welcome along. Hopefully you joined us last night for the cart load, and you're ready for more fun today. Softer side right now, last 40 minutes actually, with Adam. We've got a craft along coming up for you later on with Michelle. And check your emails. Got that discount code for you today, which I know lots of you have used already, which is exciting.
Hooray. And then again, right sides together, we're just going to repeat that process. So I'm now bringing that piece of sewn down to line number 8 that we marked. I'm going to pop that there, and then right sides together, that's going to go on top, just like we had done, and we sew it 1/4 of an inch. See, once you understand and know what you're doing, a lot of sewing is just repeating that process.
Yeah.
Oh, it's obviously different for different patterns. Now, this pattern doesn't say to interface these pieces, but if you wanted the pockets a little bit stiffer, you could use a lightweight interfacing if you wanted to. It'd just give it a bit more rigidity. But to be honest, like, I don't think it really needs it. You've got the double cotton there anyway, but if you wanted to make that a bit stiffer, you could add a little bit of interfacing if you wanted to. Then what we're going to do is pull this one down here, and what we're going to do is give that a real nice press. Pressing's so important when you're sewing, and it can often help forgive a bit of wonky sewing as well, because it just makes everything look nice and pressed and finished. So there you go, you can see we've got those pockets in place now. All we're going to do is baste around the outside of this section. So basting, we're going to baste across the bottom. We don't need to back stitch because it's not a permanent stitch. And usually with basting, you lengthen your stitch to about a 4 or a 5.
Basting? Basting,
yes.
Like you do to a turkey?
I don't know if I've actually basted a turkey ever, you know. It's not the same. It's basically to secure or to hold temporary stitches to hold that bit in place. This will get permanently stitched when we attach it to the wallet itself.
Okay.
But it's just to hold it in place basically. So then I'm going to baste down this side here.
Certainly a lovely project to do with these new fabrics. I mean, that for your, like your passport holder or your bits and pieces going on holiday. This really just looks amazing.
I mean, it's like anything, Ben. Like you were saying with the bag, Debbie's wash bag you were showing her. Like, we've called it a travel wallet, but it doesn't have to be just a travel wallet. You could use it to hold anything. Like, you know, if you were somebody that knits or maybe crochets, you could probably keep your hooks in there or something. Yeah. You know, it could be used for anything. A little tip from me to you is when you're sewing these pieces and basting them, I would baste from the bottom towards this top contrast bit, because you see these pleated pocket bits here, they're facing that way. If they go under the machine that way, they're going to sit and lie better. If we go with the machine the other way, you've got the chance of doing something like that. Not as exaggerated as that, but we don't want that fabric to shift. So that's why I've broken up that bit of basting there. And of course at home you could pin this. I want to try and get through as much as I can to show you how this is made and put together. Okay, cool. And then we just repeat and do exactly the same with the other section. Yeah. Which is nice and easy to do.
You got any holidays planned this year, or have you been away already?
I haven't been away anywhere. Well, I'm doing the exciting thing of buying a house, Ben. So,
yes.
Holidays are suspended. But because I used to
for the next 20 years.
For the next, it will be, won't it? It will be. But I used to work on ships, so I've been lucky enough to see a lot of the world anyway. Yeah. And to be honest, when I used to have to pack a case for work, like, I'm not that enamoured by it anymore. I'm not that bothered about going.
I suppose if you've done it for as many years as you did it, and what would you go away for, like 6 or 7 months?
Yeah, sometimes longer. I'd done like 10 months at a time. And I used to get home, and then the company I used to work for used to say, oh yeah, I know you're on your break, but can you just go and cover on this ship? And I'd be like, oh, right then. And you know, when you're young and you can do it, it's great. But then there comes a time, I'm growing up now, I'm settling down.
I suppose a lot of time, I mean, I wouldn't know because I've never been on one, but do you, like on a cruise, do you get a lot of opportunity to actually get off and see the places?
I mean, for guest-wise, it's limited anyway, because usually you import for the day. Sometimes you have an overnight, but it's a nice taster of different places for sure.
Yeah.
As a crew member, it just depends on the workload, but as cruise director, which is the job I did, like, it was always so busy. Like, I'd usually on a good day manage to go ashore for lunch.
Yeah.
But you can't really go off and enjoy the sights of Rome or wherever you might be, because there's just not the time. You've got to, you're there to work. But the weather's always a lovely thing. And I'd love to go back to Barbados, actually. I used to go there, so if I do get enough stars, then...
Oh dear, he thinks it's real! Yeah. That's you. I mean, you could be off to Barbados very soon.
I saw that you were winking.
Oh, you've been to Barbados, wow.
He's not a regular, we'll catch him out.
Yeah, lovely part.
Cool.
The only time I've been to the Caribbean, I went to Antigua.
Oh, I love Antigua.
That was
it's
probably 13 years ago, and it was with a radio station I was working at the time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and the deal.
So
was,
you went with work?
I went with work. Yeah, it was when Laura was actually. I think she was pregnant with George at the time, and I had to break the news to her that I was going to Antigua for a week, and she couldn't come
Antigua,
along.
Bye.
Yeah, we had one holiday to give away to one of our listeners, and then the deal was the breakfast show people at the time had to go to Antigua and experience. It was a sandals resort.
Oh yeah,
So we had to
I
go-
know the Sandals Resort you mean, I think. It's right on the beach.
Yeah, unbelievable. So we got out there for a week. We did like a 3-hour radio show, one a day, and just experienced the whole of this resort in Antigua. And oh my goodness me, it was unbelievable. It was... No, so we had to go out there first, tell everybody how amazing it was, and then we gave away the holiday. Yeah, no, we didn't follow the winner out. We just went out there and did our little show, and then the rest of the day we were out there, you know, just sampling everything on the resort, all the restaurants, the beach, the swimming pools. Yeah, it was literally like that. Oh, I just need to go into this, this restaurant and have lunch. Oh, you've already had 2 lunches today. Yeah, but I need to sample it for the radio competition. Oh dear, it was so good, honestly. And it was about 38 degrees whilst we were out there as well. Yeah.
And for anyone who knows their cricket, that here last week.
Yeah, it was. And for anyone who knows their cricket as well, if you don't know cricket, this is really boring. But we got to meet Richie Richardson, who was one of the great West Indian cricketers at the time. He was like an ambassador for Antigua. I think he was like the sports ambassador. And he came over for the day. We were interviewing all these dignitaries, and he played beach cricket with us. And I bowled Richie Richardson out on the beach in Antigua. Claim to fame. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
Look him up. Yeah.
I remember when I first went out, like thinking the sea really is this blue.
Yeah.
Because you think it's
in
all
the brochures,
kind of,
they like change it, don't you?
Yeah, some kind of filter on it or whatever it might be. But no, it's actually a beautiful place.
And just all the people there as well, just as you would imagine, like so laid back. It's like such a chilled out atmosphere, isn't it?
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's so lovely as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Right, so all I'm going to do now, I've just done it with one, you'll see, is put a lining piece on. So that I've sewed down the right side, with right sides together. I've got to do the opposite. You've got to sew these down the opposite side. So because I've done the right side on that one, I'll do the left side on this one. But to confuse you, I'm going to just put it through the machine the same way, but it is the opposite side, he says. That's the thing with sewing, it can just get a little bit confusing because it's a lot of time sewing inside out back to front.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it. I'm often inside out back to front a lot of the time anyway. Right. I'm going to give you an extra tip here, and it's something that it doesn't say in the pattern, and it's not necessary in terms of it's not compulsory, but for those advanced sewers might like to do it, and I'll show you what I mean. What we would do now is to press this back on itself, And then that's what creates the nice finished seam for the bit you can put everything in. I know my explanations are getting brilliant on the bit you can put everything in. This bit. But what I've done underneath is something called understitching.
Yeah.
The camera might not pick this up because it is quite light. But basically it's a row of stitching that's going to keep all of that to the inside of the wallet. And that's like a real pro technique. I'll show you quickly how to do it. It's dead simple, really. All we're going to do is press the seam allowance, which is here, to the lining side, which it's falling naturally to anyway. So the lining side is this darker blue fabric for me. I'm just going to give it a quick press over that way. There we go. And I can do the same with the other one while we're at it. Over to the lining side there, so it's nicely pressed. And as I was saying, press as you go along. It's going to make for a neater finished result. And all I'm going to do now is stitch on the lining side, right as close as I dare go to that seam line, but what I'm going to catch underneath is that seam allowance. I want to be stitching through that seam allowance and this lining part here. So all I'm going to do is drop my foot down. You can back stitch if you want, and it might be the kind of thing that you want to take slowly, and all I'm doing is just guiding the fabric through, checking that that seam allowance is sat towards that lining side, and it's just going to keep that lining towards the right side, which is going to give that nice clean finish. As I say, it's not written as an instruction in the pattern. It's not compulsory to do, but it just adds that little bit of finesse, and you'll get it neater than mine with a bit more time on your side. And then I'll just do this one as well. There we go.
I'm flown over this show.
Speed sewing now.
Here he is.
Pedal to the metal. Cool, okay. And yeah, all that'll do now is keep it, once pressed, towards that inside. It's just going to give that nice finished edge. As I say, it's not something that you have to do, but it's something that's nice to do. I'm just going to press that now, actually. It's handy if you've got a nice setup at home. I mean, I know a lot of people sew in different places. I'm going to have a sewing room soon, Ben.
In the new house?
In the new house.
Amazing.
For my 10 sewing machines, 9.5.
Sewing machine museum.
Yeah.
Are you in the new place then, or are you in the process of moving
November it'll be, I think.
When? November?
November is, yeah.
Is it a new build, you said?
It is a new build, yeah.
Exciting.
So we've been looking for a while, but
yeah.
I just feel for anybody trying to get onto the property market these days, it's
really hard.
Just get a house, isn't it?
It's so hard. It's so expensive.
It's almost like it encourages you to just go and rent, which is nothing wrong in doing. But if you don't want to do that, it's like, you know, sometimes like making it impossible. Anyway,
that's why we moved up here, as I say, because we found out that the houses up here were half the price of where I used to live.
Where were you before? Aylesbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
And I mean, I won't tell you, but the amount of money we used to pay to rent our house every month. I mean,
gosh,
dear, oh dear. It makes me like wince now thinking about it. The amount of money we rented a house in just outside of Aylesbury for 5 years.
Yeah.
And the amount it cost me over those 5 years. Nearly 100 grand.
Wow. Yeah, I know. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, honestly. Right, what am I doing?
Crying now thinking about it. At least now it's going into my own house. Now I've got a mortgage and I'm all grown up.
Like I was doing this morning with the double-sided fusible, this is just a nice heavy weight interfacing that I've got. The pattern does suggest like medium weight, and a medium weight's fine. I just wanted to give it a bit more structure, so it felt like it had got a little bit more to it. I'm just literally, again, pressure and heat, and don't be afraid, just hold your eye in there and then move over And that's just going to fuse that interfacing to it, because it wants to keep as one. Yeah, wonderful stuff. So that's your interfaced piece there. And then also you've got your lining piece as well. And then I'll talk about how we construct the tabs.
Oh yeah.
If I can find those. They're dead simple to do actually. So they're the pieces that will all go together in a bit. These tabs, these are what create the pen loop and the flap for the hook and loop tape. Nearly said it then. So all we're going to do with these, again, I've interfaced two of the pieces. One's going to be the pen loop, and then you've got an interface piece and a non-interface piece for this little flap here. Again, you don't have to interface it if you don't want to, but it's one of those where it'll just give it more body. I'm going to sew around at 1/4 of an inch, just 3 of the sides for this, Ben.
Okay. It's funny you should keep mentioning about the V word, that's a brand.
Yeah.
There's so many other things in life. The one that always gets me is the word that we use for when we're using our the thing that we use to clean our carpets with.
Oh, yes.
And everyone calls it, it's vacuuming, isn't it? But everyone calls it
Yeah, the inventor of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not, is it? Because that's the name of the...
There's a lot of examples, isn't there?
And like,
Yeah,
like the sticky tape as well.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of, yeah. Yeah. But then it's like... when you grow up knowing it is that, it's like...
Yeah, it's hard to not say it.
I don't really... what else is it then?
It's vacuuming, it's sticky tape, and it's hook and loop.
Hook and loop. But it gets confusing because, like, there's not really... I mean, I get the theory, but you say hook and loop to somebody that knows it as the other.
Yeah, and they're like, what?
And it's like, hey?
What are you talking about? Hook and loop?
It's not got any hooks and loop, but it's... yeah, it's one of them really, isn't it? So I've sewn round 3 sides. What I would do as well is just what we call grade down the seam allowance. It's about 1/8 of an inch. So that's half of what I've sewn at, and I've just trimmed the corners as well. It's always good when we're turning things inside out to kind of reduce any bulk that we've got. So there we go. And I'm just going to turn that out like that. Now what you really want to do, and be careful when you do this, is I'm going to get my toolkit out, steady on. I've got one of these. It's just a point turner.
Oh yeah.
You can use like a knitting needle. Don't ever use your scissors to do this because you'll go through that nice fabric. You just want to gently persuade those corners out and you'll get nice edges. There you go. And then again, as always, I feel like I'm doing a lot of ironing. Just give it a nice press. There you go. And instantly that'll give you that nice tab. And then we're going to top stitch around the corner. Now, in terms of top stitching, we're just going to do those 3 sides because that's all that will be visible. And for a top stitch, I usually go to about a 3 stitch length on your sewing machine.
Yeah.
Again, this will get caught in a seam, this bit, so there's no need to back stitch really. But we're just going to stitch nicely along that edge, get to the corner, there, needle down, and then bring the foot up and pivot. And then we're going to go down. It's really important to make sure that you've got your needle down when you do that. So needle down and then pivot the 90 degrees. Some machines you can set so it finishes needle down as well. Just depends, you'll have to have a look at what machine you've got. Okay, wonderful. Now, the hook and loop tape then is just going to go on here, and I need to get some. Have I got some under here? I thought I had some, Ben. Maybe I didn't.
What is hook and loop?
I've lost my hook. Oh, there it is.
Have you found it?
I've got it, yeah. It's actually, where I bought it from, it's actually got hook and loop on it.
It's got everything written on it?
Yeah.
Not
so
the V word?
No, so they've been compliant. Right, and what I'm going to do, you need it says about 3 inches of this. Let me cut one piece first rather than trying to do 2 bits. I'm just measuring it on my mat here. But you might find that you need less. 3 inches is going to be maximum, but basically it's going to go down one of these sides here. 3 inches is just the right size, but I'm just going to trim it short of because I don't want it poking out of that edge. And then when I've trimmed that, I'm going to cut the loop side the same size and just marry it up and use that as your template and cut that, which is perfect. And then we're going to, it doesn't matter which piece, whether you do the hook piece or the loop piece, it's up to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. And you could put a pin in there, but I'm just going to go for it and freewheel it. And we're going to add this tab on to here now. So I'm going to get right on that corner, lower the needle and the foot, and I will backstitch here. There we go. And it's going to sew straight down there. And then very much like we were when we were top stitching, is needle down and pivot. Straight across the bottom, needle down and pivot. Straight up to the top. Needle down and pivot. And then straight across there. And I'll just do a nice couple of back stitches just to tag that in. Cool, wonderful stuff. And now we've got that tab made now, and all I'd say is go back into, go to the fabric and just trim your ends, get in the habit of trimming those thread ends, because everything looks a lot neater when you've not got wispy ends everywhere.
Whiskey ends?
Wispy ends.
Oh, wispy ends.
You'd like it to be whiskey ends. Cool.
Thinking of the pub again.
Now, for the pen loop, this is really easy. What we're going to do is we're going to press. Okay, so we're going to go 1/4 of an inch each side. Now, I'm eyeballing this. The more you sew, the more you know.
The more you sew, the more you know.
You just get used to seeing certain distances.
Yeah.
Distance in measurements, I should say, really, shouldn't
Yeah, no, I get you.
But to be honest, with this piece, it's not going to be the end of the world if it isn't exactly 1/4 of an inch. So it doesn't matter. It's just to fold in these raw edges. And it's just knowing when you really should measure accurately and when, you know, you can get away with eyeballing it. Okay, so that's just going to make sure that they go in there like that. And that goes like that. And then what we're going to do, it's a bit springy because I've got this interfacing on it, is fold it in half, keeping all that seam allowance in now. The idea is that we enclose those raw edges. That's why we folded it in on all those corners.
Yeah.
Because we don't want them poking out. And again, you can do it a little bit neater than that. Watch fingers when you're doing this as well. The amount of times I've burnt myself when it's tiny little bits and it's like, oh. Yeah, that bit's sticking out a bit. I'm not happy with that.
Rhonda just says, I've got that needle down function and it has saved my bacon more than once.
Oh, yes.
And a few of you just chatting about the names we call things. In the US, Rhonda says, we don't call it hoovering, we call it vacuuming, at least where I'm from. That's what you should call it. It is vacuuming, because unless you've got a hoover, you're not hoovering. You might be Dysoning or sharking. Or Henrying. Do you have the Henry Hoovers in the US? Henry vacuum cleaners. I'm doing it now. You have the different family members, don't you? You got Henry, who's the little red one with the little black hat, and there's like a little blue one, isn't there? I think. Kleenex is another one. Passes a. No, I don't think we do that. Passes a tissue. No, not so much. A ballpoint pen, says Sil Sparkly. Not biro. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's another one. Chucks a biro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You see all these things that we get caught out by day in, day out.
It is what it is, isn't it? So I've done the pen tab there, and all that'll do is fold over and be stitched into the finished article. So we'll put that to a side for now. Fantastic. And then you'll see, like, again with the instructions, it gives you everything written down and where to attach it. We'd got up to the stage where we'd done the lining folding opposite sides, and then we need to now position these on the right side of the lining main panel. Now that's the piece that I've not interfaced. So it's here. We're going to do some more basting, not of the turkey, just of the fabric panels. It is funny, some sewing terms.
That's the first time I've heard basting.
Is it?
Yeah. I've never heard anyone baste before. Just
I'm
baste.
surprised, like, there's a lot of...
Or maybe I just haven't been listening in the past.
I
I don't know.
wonder how much... Because you do a lot of basting in dressmaking, because well, it's basically to hold things in place whilst you're maybe joining multiple pieces of fabric at one seam or something.
Yeah.
We're just going to place them on there, and again these clips are gold dust when it comes to this. I remember when I first got introduced to these clips and I was like, hey, and someone was describing them as like little washing line pegs. So yeah, I suppose they are, but
they're handy, aren't they?
they're
for
so
paper craft
handy
as well.
Like, I was so glad I used them, especially for bulkier things, and when you're perhaps working with leather or faux leather or vegan leather or whatever it is. And stuff with wadding in as well. Like, it just makes things so much easier. I'm all for making things easier.
That's it, make your life easy.
Yeah, why make it difficult?
Have you got any plans for the weekend, Adam? Have you got anything exciting to look forward to?
To be honest, I think I'm going to have a chilled one.
Oh yeah.
I've had a busy week, as we're talking, sewing a lot of costumes, because I started a new freelancing job, which is fantastic. I'm loving that. And then I've had the man flu.
Oh yes.
Which is, you know,
dreaded man flu. There's no worse type, is there?
No. It definitely affirmed for me that I am a man, having man flu. No, I joke, but yeah. Oh, my thread's come out. That's no good, is it? Yeah. So I'm just gonna have a quiet one. I think we have a dog, so we like to take a dog for a walk.
What sort of dog you got?
An old English breed, a Wye Fox Terrier.
Oh yeah. What's he called?
Snowy and tinted.
Yeah.
He's called Rufus.
Rufus.
We call him Rufus the Doofus.
Rufus the Doofus.
Because he is, and he's very stubborn.
He's very stubborn?
Yeah. He only does things when he wants to. You know how most dogs you might go, oh, come up here then, and then I'll leave you, like, I'll go to him, are you coming up then? And he'll like, look at me, and then look away, and I have to look away, and then he gets up. He has to do it when he wants.
He's got a bit more like cat sensibilities, really, because cats
I suppose a little bit, yeah.
Does he like going out for walks, or is he stubborn on that?
He's the only dog I know that you say the W word, and he doesn't bat an eyelid. But he has loads of walks, like we probably overwalk him.
That's maybe why. Oh, Dad, not again.
Not
We've been out
again,
for 4 walks already today. We've got a border collie.
I was going to ask you if you got any pets.
Yeah, so we've got a border collie called Mac. He's 10 next month actually, and he just wants to do stuff. He's such a doing dog.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to play, he wants to fetch, he wants to play tug, he wants to go for WALKIESs like all the time. You know, and if you're, now I don't want to say that word because I've been accused of saying it before and then going, oh, you set my dog off. He just wants to be there doing stuff. And then we've got a cat who's she's just turned 20, bless her.
Oh.
And she's just, she's, how can I put it nicely? She's just, no, she's not miserable. She's so she's a little bit she's losing the plot a little bit, let's just say, but she's become very sort of grumpy in her old age, and so my wife is a dog walker / dog minder, and Charlotte, our vision mixer, her dog Tyne, sometimes comes to our house, and she's quite a jumpy, friendly, happy to see you kind of dog, and my cat doesn't really tolerate that so much, and more often than not when Tyne comes round, my cat hits Charlotte's dog in the face.
You should laugh.
It is funny, but the hilarious thing is, like, Charlotte's dog just doesn't, like, if it happens once, you'd think, oh yeah, well, I know now not to jump in the cat's face, because if I do, she's going to smack me around the chops. But she's done it once, she's done it 50 times, and every time she just looks as if to say, you just hit me. Like my cat's going, I do that every time you jump in my face. I'm going to hit you, so stop doing it. So it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. Pets,
Oh my goodness.
Who'd have them?
You see, I've never, not intentionally, I've never done cats because I'm allergic to them.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Ironically, it's only cats I'm allergic to. My brother's allergic to horses.
Horses, eh?
Yeah.
Anne loves fox terriers, by the way. Anne says, I love them. They're
just
so cute.
Gorgeous doggies.
They're sort of medium-sized dogs, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, medium-sized dogs.
Small enough still to have on your lap of an evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, not tiny, but...
My border collie, he still thinks he's a lap dog, and he's just so not. But he still likes to try and get up on the sofa of a night and sit on your lap. Bless him.
Oh, God, love, I just like going out for walks, whether the dog disorders. Right, all I've done is attach that tab. I've basted it in there on that side, and you want to make sure that it's sitting that way now. And then that piece of Velcro.
Got it! Get him off! Get him off! Come on! Brand police, get him out! He's just said the V word. Out you go!
I've done so well.
So well.
I kicked myself. It's genuinely accident. Okay. I'm going to say that of a bit of hook and loop tape.
It's too late now! Too late!
Well, you've been hoovering and dicing
I've done another one!
and sellotaping.
No, he's gone! He's gone rogue! Turn his mic off! Turn his mic off!
Oh my word.
Oh dear.
I want to see if I can get to the end of this if possible. Let's see. We're nearly
Are you
there.
hoping to come back in a fortnight?
I won't be able to come back because I said the V word.
He said the V word.
Oh my goodness. Right, so I've sewn that on. It gives you the measurements in the instructions, and then basically, just to explain now, we're going to go right sides together. Oh, you would have put this on as well. You attach that in the middle there, and you do that at this stage, the pen holder. If you want it, you might choose to not have it.
Yeah.
So we'll choose that today, but just to show you how the rest of this is done. And then basically with those nice clips now, you've got quite a lot of bulk here, you see, because there's multiple layers of fabric now. So this is where these come into their own, these clips. I'm going to need to leave somewhere to bag it out or turn it through. So I'm going to do that on this side. I'm going to leave about 3 or 4 inches to turn the whole thing through. Can I do it with a bit of speed sewing and...
Pedal to the metal.
Pedal to the metal, here we go. All right, so you want to back stitch at the beginning, and then to this corner, remember needle down, and pivot. Take that out there. I've got it in sport mode. Hooray!
Just whilst Adam's whizzing, don't forget our discount code, declining discount code, which you should find in your emails if you haven't used it yet. You've got to use it today, and the earlier you use it, the more you'll save as well off that. And also, don't forget the Shop the Day page where you'll find loads of great deals. You'll find all of the Craft Along deals coming up later, and indeed the deals that we've rolled over from the Craft Along, not the Craft Along, the Cartload yesterday, 1p deals, which you'll see tons of those. Limited stock on the bags, all of the bags are limited stock now, so if you see those and you like them, make sure that you grab them. Lots of laughing faces coming in for your V word slip.
My blunder.
He said the V word.
I've said a lot worse, but I'm usually so good and so careful.
Are you back in all seriousness? Are you back in a fortnight, or is Becky back?
I think Becky's back.
Becky's back.
Yeah.
So if we don't see you again, we know the reason why.
Yeah, that'll be it. So I've left a little bit of a gap in there, a hole to turn it through, and then this is the bit which is like fabric giving birth to itself.
Right. Yes.
But it's the magic part, because you then see how everything's nicely enclosed, all those raw edges that you don't want to see, and enclosed, and you can just give it a shake out. And then you'll want to, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, no problemo. And then you'll just turn that out. And then it's just basically turning those corners out, which you can take time to do. But here's the one I made earlier. There you go, and you'll end up with that. And I think it's great, and there's so much selection in those patterns. There's 5 projects in that one, but then you get in the other one with it.
Absolutely. Do you want to line up your 2 makes, and we'll get a quick voting, because we've only got 4 minutes left on sure.
Yeah, so we've got that one, and what else? What was the other one I did?
It's the coaster.
The coaster, yeah, I nearly finished it. There you go. It's looking. It needs a press and a turnout.
So 1 for the coaster, 2 for the wallet. There's a 1 for the coaster, 2 for the wallet. There isn't a 3, so we can't do the rest of the song. Get voting. You've literally got about 90 seconds to get your vote in on that. Right. That's bag, festive bag. Right, if you want to grab some of the deals that we had on the show yesterday, cartload, those are now on the shop of the day page. Proving very popular. 1p deals here. So basically, the festive bag is here. There's the value of your bag, less a penny. So basically, you're paying for the Father Christmas, you're paying for the double-sided die, and then for $24.78 or $30.35, that is your deal. But give us another penny, and then we are going to throw into the mix all of these goodies. So you get the tis the season die set, you get the gift card die set in there, the snowman, you're going to get that beautiful wreath stamp and die set too. You're also going to get this winter stag die set. I mean, gorgeous. That's, as I say, one of the most popular dies, I think, within that collection, and we are practically giving it away. You've got your Precious Poinsettias 3D embossing folder with stencil, and then also you're going to get in there that gorgeous stamp set too. All of that is, well, it equates to costing you a penny or a cent, which is ludicrous, really. And we've got tons more of those bags, or I'll say tons more. There's 3 more of those bags for you in there as well on that 1p deal. And then just quickly, we have got the goodie bag here, where you are getting your purple cheetah. So that is what you're paying for, $23.99 or $27.96, and then for a penny, you're then going to get, well, all of these goodies basically. There's the papers for your iris folding. You've got an iris folding set in there. You've got edgeables. You've got stamps in there. I mean, there's absolutely tons. You've got the chalkboard stamps. You've got that beautiful, wonderful new stamp set. You've got the watercolor Christmas stamp set, the masquerade ball stamp set. You've got a 6x6 paper pad included in there as well, and also a 3D embossing folder. That is all on the shop that they pays. That lot there that I just shown you is literally 1p. Demo of the show result is in. I'm not surprised the amount of work that you did for it goes to number 2.
Yay, the travel wallet.
Yeah.
I really like that. You know, it's so cool, and I think, you know, yeah, make one.
Fantastic. Do it. Thank you for a wonderful show, sir.
Oh, it's been fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Have you got a date when you're back, or do we?
I haven't.
Whenever
No,
Becky
but
next
I'm
goes
pretty
away.
sure that I might be back in the near future.
Yeah. You won't be, or will be?
No, I will be.
Oh, good.
Well, it
Thank you for that.
depends.
Yeah. He said, I'm pretty sure I won't be back.
Soon today.
He'll be back. He'll be back. Massive thank you to Adam. Thank you to you guys for watching as well. Check out the deals from the softer side on the Shop the Day page, and also don't forget all of these deals we rolled over from yesterday. We'll be back with a craft along for you after 4 o'clock. Michelle is going to be leading that. I will be here as well. So it should be a lot of fun. Couple of hours break though right now, so if you have got stuff in your baskets, check them out. Don't forget to check your emails as well for that declining discount code. The quicker you use it, the more of a discount you will get. Bye for now.